delighted to be speaking today with Mark Fleming, who's Deputy Head of Private Client Services here at JTC Group at their splendid offices here in St Helier. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you, David, and welcome to you. Lovely day for it.
So Mark, you came across with the Sarn private client business as part of an acquisition. It'd be great to hear a little bit more about that and how the transition's gone.
Sure. Well, it wasn't a long journey. It was actually only the building behind that one there that we made the journey from. But it was Sarn were really kind of moving away from private client, and they undertook a strategic review of their private client business, and then quickly JTC entered the process and really stood out as the right firm for Sarn and for the people who were working in the private client team at Sarn. So the deal to move to JTC was actually announced as we went into lockdown, so that was very interesting. Announced the deal to the market, and then a week later we were all working from home, so it proved to be quite a challenge to get across, but we were very lucky that JTC had an integration team with a track record of actually delivering and working with the firms that they're acquiring, or the business they're acquiring, to ensure that they had everything they needed to get across the line. So it's coming up to 2 years now. 1st of July 2020 was when we made the move. It was a kind of a hard move. So we literally went from all the Sarn systems on the 30th of June to then move to the JTC systems and working from home.
Wow.
So I think without the integration team and the efforts they made and the way they held our hand through it all, it would have been really difficult. But we had a buddy system in place with our private client colleagues, and we were made to feel very welcome. So 2 years on, it's gone extremely well. Difficult with COVID, it's been a bit stop-start, but I don't think it could have gone any better really. And we're a very private client friendly firm in JTC, and it's a great home for us all.
And JTC has got a fantastic geographically diverse footprint. When you look at the spread of offices, I imagine that's a really exciting kind of proposition for you, working with colleagues around the globe on complex clients in private client. How have you found that aspect of the JTC offering?
Well, it's great to have the international footprint, and it just means that you can offer your clients more services. And actually, sometimes we've found previous places where you don't have that footprint. You may stop somewhere and you can't provide it, and they'll still keep going with you. But I think when you can have use your BVI office, or use Singapore, you can then really kind of leverage that, and it takes the client relationship to a whole new level. So we've seen that in quite a lot of there was quite a lot of easy wins when we first came across. We could, BVI I've mentioned, Guernsey registered office, and even if you want a process agent in Singapore, say, it does help a lot, and it really kind of solidifies the relationship you have with your clients with JTC through that umbrella.
And through lockdown we did some interesting virtual sessions where we looked at different types of asset classes. Real estate, I know, is an area you really focus on. We're in turbulent times at the moment in the UK with the economy generally, but how do you see real estate investments holding up? You're still seeing investors coming and investing in good commercial residential property in the UK?
Well, I think on the real estate side we see both sides of it. We see clients who see it as an opportunity to actually exit and get a really good price, and then perhaps diversify into other assets or real estate in other locations as well as the UK. But we also see quite a lot of foreign investors coming in and saying, well, they've got this real opportunity, particularly with maybe Brexit and with London really kind of still kind of being a place to go. They see it as an opportunity to invest. So we're seeing both sides of it. So I think it continues to be something which keeps us busy. There's a number of live transactions we're working on, not just on my portfolio but other portfolios within the book of clients we have at JTC. Some into hotels, some are more commercially driven. So it's a very interesting kind of time, and as I say, I think it's on the buy and the sell side, which is what we're seeing.
And I know within the group you've got a lot of expertise around luxury assets as well. We did some great content together on that. What are you seeing in terms of any trends around clients with super yachts, jets? There's definitely trends from the pandemic that have been borne out in those asset classes. How are you seeing that filtering through to your practice?
We've had a number of transactions. There's still people who want to set up structures with super yachts. So maybe they've got had a liquidity event and they want to maybe change their lifestyle a little bit. So they're kind of thinking, well, let's get ourselves a yacht and kind of maybe doing some sailing. There's also opportunistic opportunities. We worked on a transaction where we purchased a Gulfstream and then we've sold it, then done some work on it and sold it off, and it was we fetched far and away a higher sum than we expected to from that, and there was an awful lot of demand. I think the market's pretty lively in that respect. Obviously there's been some impact of the Russian Ukraine crisis, which I think we need to see how that kind of pans out really. But that's kind of difficult situation. But I think up until then we'd seen quite a lot of interest in that area, and I think it'll only continue.
And how do you find having a dedicated private office team? Do you think that by making a centre of excellence around that and across geographies as well, it gives you a real edge and expertise?
Yeah, I'd say the way the market's gone over the last 5-10 years, the structures that we look after tend to be higher value and more complex, and there's a lot of structures that we're involved in where there's a family office involved, but there's also structures which probably don't have that, or there's things that the family office don't provide which our private office team can assist with, and I think it's proven to be a really kind of valuable offering for us. So that not just on the structure side, but for the individuals themselves. So we have settlors and beneficiaries of trusts who really are kind of busy potentially with their kind of business interests or lifestyle matters, and they really need that kind of help to help them to kind of free up their time. And by having the private office team and us working closely with them, that can really be delivered. So I think there's certainly more to come on that, but I think we've made some really good inroads, and I think as our offering gets built out, there'll be more and more that we can be offering our existing clients, and then potentially new clients in that field.
I was reading up some statistics about the growth of the funds under administration in Jersey, some government of Jersey stats from 2009 to 2021, with a growth up to now 463 billion, I think, at the last count. It's a great growth story for Jersey, isn't it? I mean, but how do you see the funds sort of service line featuring in more traditional private client business? Do you see any trends there?
I think one of the trends we see is the rise of private equity. So I have a number of structures where private equity investment is really kind of coming to the fore, and that's manifesting itself in a good number of our structures. It's something I think will continue as the private capital market develops further. There's a lot of literature out there about that. We also have the Jersey Private Fund, which has been brought in and has add another tool to our toolkit. And something I think again will continue to rise, particularly as investors get together and maybe want to do a kind of more kind of a private arrangement and less structured in a way. So there are a couple of the trends I see in that area, and as you say, the funds administration growth stories are amazing in Jersey, and from a private client perspective, we've been trying to keep up with it, but obviously we're a more mature market. But I think there's more crossover now between the fund space into the private client, particularly with family offices now looking at fund investments as well.
And finally, Mark, people are starting to travel again now. Have you got business trips on the agenda? Are you looking forward to getting back out there on the road? Where are you looking forward to going most?
Well, London's the easiest destination for us from here, although it should be the easiest destination. It doesn't always work that way. Done a number of London trips already. Monaco's, there's been a few full starts on that. I have some clients out there, and I'd like to get back out there again, hopefully in the autumn. Really, as a firm, we're looking at where all our client directors work, which jurisdictions they're in, and really trying to make sure they get out to see their clients in person, because the actual in-person meetings make such a difference. Been to strange places in Mexico, for example, to meet clients, and it is really kind of powerful actually if you make the effort to actually go and see them, and they're more relaxed, and they bring something different to the actual meeting itself. So yes, definitely welcome in-person meetings, and really have a little break from Teams and Zoom.
Thanks, Mark. Great to talk to you today, and we look forward to sharing this with our members.
Thanks a lot, David. Thank you.